I don't know. I'm still waiting to have a new reason to say, hey, look at what the state has done. You know, the tax stabilization programs. The funny thing is, I don't quarrel with any of the moves that she's made. I just don't know that they are substantial enough. You think they are to really get this ball
Well,
rolling?
I think if they're implemented effectively and coherently in an integrated fashion, and that's where groups like ours come in, to be a constructive both cooperator with the administration and a watchdog, and to suggest how some of these incentives are used in other places so that we get the most out of them. But I do think that it's very much a take charge, can-do attitude that I'm seeing from the governor and to a fair extent from the legislature. And this wolf is not an ostrich, by the way. I know that there are still serious problems and underemployment in Rhode Island, but even on the unemployment rate, we've gone from about 12% at the nadir of the recession to less than 6%. Certainly there's a lot of underemployed who aren't counted in those stats. I recognize that. But we're no longer the doormat of the country when it comes to unemployment.
But we've been,
and we're actually got 11 states that are worse than us.
Understood.
I mean, I realize that's not a reason to bring out the champagne.
But I would suggest that we've been drafting on the national economic improvement more than really taking control of our own economic destiny.
I think we're starting to take control of it, though, and that's
with these programs.
With these programs and with actions the voters took late last year when they resoundingly passed some significant investments in the state's assets. They passed funding to provide renovations for a lot of our arts and cultural facilities around the state, many of which are in urban and town centers, the places where we think growth makes the most sense. They passed a bond to provide funding for new transit hubs, to have a more seamless integration of commuter rail and bus service. They passed funding for the state to finance through some state government funds cleanup of our many contaminated sites that are often known as brownfields. So these are nitty-gritty. They're not necessarily sexy things, but they're all part of building a stronger foundation and playing to our strengths. And I think that's what we really need to do in Rhode Island.